Hey everyone, so I built something that I think could be a total game changer for how we handle competitive intelligence. What you're looking at right now is an automated system that turns competitor mentions in Slack into full competitive battle cards in just under 2 minutes. And then here's the really cool part. It becomes an instant QA agent that your whole team can use to get competitive intel on demand. Today, I'm going to demo this agent using a company that's known as Tango.ai. I'm not affiliated with them, and their competitor, Scribe, since they are directly aligned and they're kind of in a space that people are familiar with. But I want to be clear, this works for any organizations, any competitor. You just mention them in Slack, and the system does the rest. So a quick overview of what this whole big thing does, because it's a little overwhelming. So first off is the Battlecard creation system. When you mention a competitor in Slack that we don't have in our database, the system automatically researches them using Perplexity, pulls data from 8 different angles, positioning, SWOT, pricing, customer complaints, feature comparisons. It generates it as a full Notion battle card in a standard format, and then drops it in our knowledge base and notifies the team. The second part up here is a QA agent. Once a competitor's in the system, anyone can just at the bot in Slack and ask questions like, how do we beat them on pricing? Or what are their biggest weaknesses? And get instant cited answers pulled directly from those battle cards. And I want to note those battle cards are upwards of 20 pages and 40,000 words. So there is a very, very rich, deep amount of information there. So I want to show you both of these things in action. First, I want to show you how we make a new battle card. And I want to note all of this is accessible via Slack. I'm simply bringing this up in the n8n client, so there's a bit of visualization of what's going on. So let's generate a battle card. So what we would do is typically a sales rep would mention someone that is would ask a question about an individual, and the system intelligently and automatically determines if they are in or they are not in our database. So let's say, hey, a customer was talking about Loom. What do we know about them? We fire it off. What's going to do immediately is confirm that Loom is not in our database, which it does. We're going to see here once it goes down that secondary path. From there, Perplexity is going to identify their website, their LinkedIn, and a couple other critical URLs. That's actually going to throw into these web scraping tools and then along with these customized, specialized Perplexity bots. This process can take upwards of 5 to 10 minutes, but once it's done, it's going to actually go out and synthesize that information. It's going to collect it, rearrange it. It's going to make those custom reports. And from there, it's actually going to send it off and fire it in our Notion table. So I'm going to pause the recording and I'm going to get back to you when we have that Notion database up and live. And about 7 minutes later, we're back. I got a notification on Slack and it said that our Notion table is ready. So let me show you what it created. Let's bring this up. We're going to load up this table regarding Loom, and we're going to see now that we have a full battle card with executive summary, their positioning and their messaging. We have a complete feature comparison table, an SWOT analysis, attack surfaces where they're vulnerable, customer complaints pulled from G2 and Reddit. We have discovery questions that our reps can ask, that we have their strengths, we have their weaknesses, we have supporting quotes with questions. We can see where we'll encounter them, everything. This is production ready, competitive intelligence, fully automated. And now it's in our knowledge base forever. And what's really cool is because of how we've done this, the AI is not just searching the document. It's able to ingest the entire thing, keep it in memory, ingest our entire document, keep it in memory, and actually run a practical analysis. On top of that as well, if there are elements missing, such as say we don't have updated pricing, it has an attached tool that actually lets it go out and search via Perplexity to find that information. And it can even tell itself, hey, this battle card's outdated. We need to update it. And it will go and update itself. Furthermore, because it is in a Notion table, any rep can come in and add information, take away information, reformat information. This is simply the format I chose for my AI to ingest this information, but feel free to use other methods that you prefer. It's quite flexible, in fact. So from here, I want to show you this thing in action in Slack as we actually ask it a real-time question. I'll be right back. So here's where it gets really useful for the sales team. Let's say I'm prepping for a call and I want to know how we stand up against Scribe with integrations and automations. So I'm going to type a message in Slack right here, and you tag the bot at n8n bot, and you can make it whatever you want it to be. I'm going to ask it, how do we beat Scribe on integrations and automation? I fire that off right there. While that's happening, what's occurring in the background functionally is over in n8n, and you're going to know, I'm going to ask the question again, but it is actually running right now. You just can't see it live. But functionally, this is what would occur. We're going to ask the bot, how do we beat Scribe on integrations and automations? It's not when I zoom in, which is fine. But we can see that it checks, it sees that Scribe is in the system. And up here, it's actually going to go into the QA bot. It's going to pull the competitor page. It's going to pull our page. It's going to check that it exists, and it's going to start running that query through itself. I'm going to stop this workflow so we don't get a double message back. But if we return back to Slack, we're going to see a message here in just one moment. And about 25 seconds later, that's our answer right there. How to beat Scribe on integrations and automations. You can see this is all properly marked down for easy scanning. It gives me specific features. It calls out where Scribe is strong, because we need to know that as well. It calls out where we're strong. It includes discovery questions, and everything is cited back to the Battlecard questions. We can see their integration weaknesses. We can see our integration advantages. We can see their automation limitations. Their AI capabilities, our basic documentation helpers. That's a pretty cool thing to know. The winning position, and this is where it gets really valuable. For integration conversations, Scribe locks most integrations behind enterprise pricing with no transparency. You go through a 6-month procurement process only to find out Slack or API access costs 3 times more than you budgeted. We include 10 native integrations standard, and our browser extension works everywhere without requiring IT setup or vendor negotiations. That is the kind of insight that is absolutely critical when you have a sales call coming on soon and you don't know what to say. And when you're in a marketplace with 10, 20, 30 competitors, you can't be expected to know every single little detail about how they operate, where they're strong, where they're weak. But with a tool like this, your sales reps don't need to do that research. They simply need to ask the Slack bot, tell me about this competitor. So that's the system. There's 2 paths. 1, you mention new competitor and you get a full battle card within 2 minutes. 2, you can ask questions about existing competitors and get instant, actionable intel. And the best part is this scales indefinitely. We can track 50 competitors as easily as we can track 5. And every time someone asks a question, the whole team learns from it. And again, I built this with Tango versus their competitors, but the architecture works for any company competing against anybody. You just need to swap out the company profiles. Questions? Drop them in the comments or email me. I really appreciate everyone watching this, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.